Hey everyone, this is Steve with All Dogs Off-Road, and you want to work on your own truck but you don't know where to start. I'm going to run through some of the basic hand tools that you'll need to be able to do a majority of the work on your own truck so that you can, improve your skills, your mechanical skills, and save yourself some money in the long run. Shops can be very, very, very expensive. When I was looking to have my Titan swap done, I went to a local shop and I said, hey, I want to do a Titan swap. How much is this going to cost? And they quoted me, I think $1,500 or $2,000 to do just the install itself. Because for a couple reasons. One, it's a relatively advanced mod. Two, shops don't like working on Nissans as a general rule. And three, it is a time-consuming mod. So after I heard that, I was a little bit discouraged, and instead what I did is I took a trip to the hardware store and I picked up some tools, and with the help of a good friend of mine, Alex, we were able to knock it out. So I'm going to run through everything that I bought back. This is long before I worked for All Dogs Off-Road, so I was balling on a budget, and these are the tools that I picked up that helped me do all of my own work on my truck, from something as simple as putting on Bilstein 5100s all the way up to eventually doing my Titan swap. So as a general rule, most of the tools that you're going to use on your Frontier are going to be pretty basic. So the Frontier is going to be using all metric bolts on it. So you can pick up a variety kit, that's what I did, but it isn't technically necessary. The first place that I started is with a Husky variety, starter kit. It has treated me very, very, very well. What we can do is we can pop it open. So it has 26 1/4 inch, 38 3/8 inch, and then 14 1/2 inch. This is seen quite a bit of abuse. I always keep this with me when I go off-roading. It's a great kit to keep with you on the trails. So I don't know if you can get a decent view here, but right off the bat we have some box wrenches up here. I will admit that this kit, the box wrench selection is a little bit lacking. As far as metric goes, it gives you 8, 10, 11, 13, and 15, so it doesn't really get in the in-betweens. A 14 would be really nice to have. Unfortunately, they don't include that. But as far as metric go, we get 10 to 18 deep socket, and then for the regulars we get 5 mil all the way up to 22 for the regular, and then we get a 1/4 inch, we get a 3/8, and a 1/2 inch. This 1/2 inch is very, very beefy. I didn't really get Husky for any particular reason. I was a total noob when I did this, so just went to the hardware store and grabbed what they had on the shelf. I've had no complaints with this kit so far. I've put it through quite a bit of abuse, and I've had nothing fail on me. Their warranty is quite good as well, so if you ever do, for whatever reason, break one, they'll get you covered with that. So I believe that this kit was, I can't remember, it was either 80 bucks or it was between 80 and $100. So this covers most of what you need. There was a couple other things that you need to pick up to properly work on a Frontier, and these I just picked up in the miscellaneous tools department. So the first thing that you're going to need is you're going to need a 19, 21, and 22 deep socket, and a correlating 19, 21, and 22 box wrench. These are going to be what you'll want for, well, first off, the deep socket 21 is great for taking off your wheels and tires. And then the box wrenches, you always want to have a box wrench to correlate to your deep sockets so that you can get torque on both ends of the bolt. And these will really help with shock mounts, ball joint nuts, and everything like that. The last one that I had to actually hunt around for, I couldn't find it at Home Depot for some reason. I can't remember if I went to Home Depot or not, but anyway, the 32 mil. The only reason you'll need a 32 millimeter is for your CV axle nut on the front. So basically that's the nut that holds your, it sandwiches your CV axle to your hub assembly. That's going to be a 32 millimeter, and I actually had to kind of hunt around for this, but it's definitely a great socket to have in your collection. You don't need a correlating box wrench because there's nothing really to grab with it. And then the only other reason that you would need a 32 millimeter is if you have SPC upper control arms, which I do on my truck, and that top nut on the SPC is going to be a 32 as well. So on top of the basic kit, 19, 21, 22 deep socket and box wrench, and then a 32 millimeter deep socket. I think that so far all of this you're still well under $200. I'm gonna look up the prices when I'm when I'm editing this, just so I don't put out any misinformation. But the best way to go about it is to get a starter kit. And then pick up the miscellaneouses that you'll definitely need. And then everything after that, the last thing that you'll need, which I picked up, is going to be a quality torque wrench. Torque wrenches are really important to have. They help you make sure that you're not over tightening, under tightening things in your suspension. And the last thing you want is to be riding down the road with something that you don't know what the torque spec is. So this helps you achieve that. This particular one is a 1/2 inch torque wrench. I think it's an 18-inch torque wrench. This was pretty expensive. I think that this was 90 bucks. Again, I'll put the price of what I spent on it, but definitely 100% worth it. This thing is awesome. It goes it goes all the way from 30 foot-pounds of torque all the way up to 250. So this pretty much is going to be your one-stop shop. You pretty much won't need anything other than this. And again, torque wrench is absolutely worth the investment. Everyone should have one. So other than that, the things that I picked up that's not really hand tool related would be a floor jack with 2 jack stands. This is pretty much all you need to perform work on the truck. Especially in the front end, basically what you do is you jack it up and you put the jack stands under on the frame, right kind of around where the front of your door is. That'll give you great contact, great support. You won't really have to worry about anything. And then when you're working in the rear, you can put your jack stands under the frame of the truck right before it kind of hoops up for the wheel wells, and then throw your jack under the center of the differential so that you can articulate the axle if you're doing some work on your leaf packs or anything like that. So that combination will pretty much cover everything you need without spending tons and tons of money. I'm fortunate enough now to have the lift itself, so I don't use my jack or jack stands as much as I used to. But remember, when I first started this, everything I was doing was in my driveway. So if you're hesitant to get into a DIY situation, just remember that the money that you spend on all this is going to be a fraction of the amount of money that you spend on a shop. And it's a great learning experience, and there's tons of resources online, whether it be from our YouTube channel, Ride the Car Guy, or anyone else. The information is there to help you along the way, and it's definitely very, very rewarding. I can definitely say that when I did my first mod on the truck, I think the first thing I did was I replaced my front brakes is what I did. As I said before, I was a total noob, but you know, I had all the parts that I needed, and I just took it slow and learned along the way and started there. And now, you know, I was doing Titan swaps all day and and other things like that. So very, very rewarding. These are the basic things that you're going to need to get started. Obviously, there's an infinite amount of other tools that would be nice to have. You know, dead blows, hammers, a wedge is also really good to have if you're separating your lower ball joint, because it's a pinch mount. Just different things like that, but these are the core things that you're going to need, and I'll put a link to all of these in the description. And so ask any mechanic and they'll tell you that, you know, nobody has enough tools. It's the same thing, you know, no one has enough cars. Nobody has enough guns. Nobody has enough tools. All of those types of things. So, even though that's true, these are the core things that are going to get you started. And yeah, worst case is if you need a tool that you don't have, you just run to AutoZone or something and you do their loaner program, or you just pick it up, you know? Nothing wrong with picking up tools as you need them. So, thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any questions, as usual, just drop them in the comments. If you liked this video, consider subscribing and leaving a comment. Definitely helps us out. And as always, this is Steve with All Dogs Off-Road. Have a good one.